Small freelancer versus big agency, right? They both get on the call with the exact same client. Who wins? 87% of the time, the clients are going to choose a team, which is a pretty crazy statistic. And I'm going to run you through a few reasons why today, but also how you can get a bit of an unfair advantage against that, because it does make sense, right? When I was first starting freelancing, I used to lose every single pitch to the bigger agencies, even though I thought I was cheaper, I was faster, I had lower overheads, right? I thought being small was this whole underdog mentality, right? But a few years ago, my own mentor completely changed my belief on this. And so thought about this the other day, and a brilliant idea for a video, okay? Hello, YouTube. But bit of a credibility on why you should even listen to me for the next 5 minutes. I now run my own $1 million agency, and all the mentors that I've had in my past have been the biggest ROI and given me the biggest impact moving forward, because a lot of the time you don't know what you don't know. You have to think about, this is what I need, this is what I need, but it's the frameworks, and it's also a lot of the ideas about how you get from where you are to where you want to be. Now, I also now mentor a handful of freelancers. This isn't a pitch, right? But I help people who want to get more from their time. Little videos like this are going to help a lot of people. Now, the strategy that I want to touch on today is called 8 Mile, right? And you'll know why in a minute. But it's how you go from being the underdog and how you flip it around to make it your biggest advantage. Now, to paint the scene, you're competing against a bigger agency, a bigger team. They've got more people, they've got all these case studies, they've got a fancy office in Copenhagen or wherever it is, right? If you go in there talking about your processes and about your year's worth of experience, you're trying to compete on their terms. And that's a game that you're never gonna win. Now, the reason I call this the 8 Mile strategy is because it comes from the final battle between Eminem in the film 8 Mile. If you've not watched it, a brilliant film. But the idea behind this is the fact that when he goes into this final battle, he already knows that he's going to be attacked for being white, for being poor, for living with his mum. So he makes sure to remove all their ammunition first. And so he gets there first, and he says it, and he mentions it, and he softens the blow, right? You can take a lot of that same methodology into your practice, because in the client's head, they're thinking, it's just one guy, it's just one woman, or it's only a small team, right? What if they're busy with other projects, or what if they just simply can't deliver on time? Okay, so you want to start reframing all of this to your advantage, okay? Whether you are still just freelancing yourself, or whether you've actually started to build a bit of a small remote team together, right? You've got to play your own cards in your own terms to be able to get your unfair advantage, right? So you can touch on how these other agencies have all these bigger overheads to pay for, which is why they get so much more out of their investment when they go for someone like you, okay? Or you can touch on little things about, putting things into the box, right? You're able to actually create custom solutions tailored specifically for them instead, right? Whereas instead of relying on these big companies that have all these specific processes and you have to go through and do all this, right? Or you can touch on the fact that you don't have all these formalities and all these rough deadlines, and it means you can work faster and you can be more flexible and you can be molded a little bit more into them, right? So instead of avoiding all their concerns, you can actually start to lead with them. And it reminds me of a time, and I tell this story to a lot of my mentees, right? I went to buy a new pair of shoes, those shit flickers that you have to wear to weddings. And you can go to the big brands, you can pick something off a rack that's in your size 10, size 11, whatever it is. Or you can go to a small independent store and you can get them to make it custom for your feet, because they've got more time and they can sit down with you and tailor everything to you. And you can imagine which one fits better, okay? But that's on you. You're the tailor, not the department store. So adjust accordingly.